Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us today. We are going to get into some information on the Spring Cooperative, which we consider a new way for Massachusetts employers to fight rising healthcare and health insurance costs. We have about 25 slides to go through, and I will be taking questions after the presentation as well, but if you have something, send a note over. If it's something important, so I'll be happy to share and answer the questions as best I can. So again, good afternoon, and let's get started. The contents of the presentation today are why a health insurance cooperative. What is the Spring Cooperative? Who can participate? How do co-op members save money? What are the health insurance program components? And that's the key component of the Spring Cooperative, but there are other products and services we'll talk about. What are the program particulars? What is the wellness component and requirements? What additional products are available to the members? What kind of customer service can members expect, and in what forms? Who is involved? When should my clients enroll? And how do I get more info? Let's step back a little bit and just say who I am. My name is George Gonser. I am at Spring Consulting Group, and I am the secretary of the Spring Cooperative. I've been involved in health insurance and healthcare consulting and IT related to insurance and healthcare for over 23 years. I am on many of the advisory boards and councils at many health insurance carriers here, Massachusetts and New England, and I have insight on much involving the healthcare reform law, what's happening in the marketplace, how it affects small business, and how it affects individuals. So the idea of the co-op was something that's been a personal challenge for myself, and how can we offer something that can save employers money. As we all know, the issue with health insurance, not only here in Massachusetts, but in states all over the country, is a major challenge. How do we afford to offer competitive health insurance premiums and offer these things to our clients, and in turn, how do they coordinate these activities along with their strategic plan at their business? Many times you just can't turn around and increase costs to offset the cost of insurance. So it's a real challenge, and it's one that we've been dealing with for many, many years. So back in 1998, we had the opportunity to work with a coalition from 98 to 06 on trying to allow and avail small businesses and down to one-line businesses the opportunity to have larger group buying opportunities. And it was a challenge every year. We tried legislatively, and we weren't, not that we were unsuccessful, but there were so many things that were at play, especially as we get closer to 2006 around mass healthcare reform, that we were unsuccessful, and we actually tabled the opportunity to try and get something put in place on a statewide level. Fast forward to 2010, and as part of the Governor Patrick's initiative around healthcare reform, around payment reform, was the opportunity for upwards of 6 cooperatives to be formed in the state of Massachusetts. These are state co-ops, not to be confused with federal co-ops, which are now popping up around the country. These state-based co-ops with the opportunity and the whole purpose of consolidating purchasing opportunities. So Spring, working with 2 of our partners, long-term partners, began investigating the co-op opportunity. So in 2011, Spring had submitted an application to be considered for one of the 6 cooperatives, and we were on a back and forth with the DOI, which is a typical process, to try and get certification for the co-op, which we were able to secure in July of 2013. From there, we have been ramping up this effort to make the co-op available to members of the Mass Dental Society and the Mass Society of Optometrists. Those are our 2 initial partners, and the others we'll talk about later. but the opportunity to, as I said, provide buying opportunity for small businesses down to one-life businesses, that would be sole props, was very, very attractive for us on behalf of our of our association partners. So let's jump into the presentation. I want to give you a little background where and why we were at this point. We'll talk about some of the components I mentioned. But there is no question that employers are facing tough challenges when it comes to funding employee benefits. It's a major, major challenge. We're a small business here at Spring. We have over 30 employees, and we grapple with those costs as well. How do we offer very good benefits that will attract employees, will maintain employees, but also keep in line with what our goals and objectives are, and our strategic plans are, and our costs? How can we handle that? With the rising costs of insurance, many employers are scrambling to find alternative ways to take care of their employees. Financial viability has been tough for many, many years for small businesses. And at Spring, we see these health insurance challenges every day. We have over 2,000 clients in Massachusetts alone. We're continually working with them to find solutions to kind of stem the tide of the rising health insurance costs. For years, Spring has been developing creative employee benefit solutions and funding solutions for employers of all sizes. Spring not only works with small businesses, but we work with some of the largest businesses, Fortune 500 businesses around the world, being very creative around funding, around benefit design, around service and voluntary type benefits. So the Spring Cooperative was launched and is a mechanism for similarly situated organizations in Massachusetts to coordinate joint purchasing initiatives or out of the lack of equal playing field purchasing opportunities for smaller businesses. And again, smaller businesses, we're going to put down that it's groups of one, and that could be a business that has 10 employees with only one enrolling, or sole proprietors, all the way up to larger, what they call mid-market business, which are groups well over 50. For the purposes of the cooperative, we'll be focusing on businesses 1 to 50 in size. So who can participate in the Spring Cooperative? Any Massachusetts trade or industry association is eligible to join one of the approved Massachusetts cooperatives. The association must file, or society, and I put both of them in there, must file an application with the Mass Division of Insurance to be considered a qualified association. Once approved by the DOI, the qualified association can partner with the Massachusetts Cooperative. So what we did at the Spring Cooperative is we filed our paperwork, we got approved, and at that point, qualified associations can partner with the Spring Cooperative to offer cooperative health insurance plans and other products and services. But there is a very defined process, and the two associations we'll talk about, / society, have completed that process, been approved as qualified associations, and then they are linking with the Spring Cooperative. So what that does is qualified association members of the cooperative with 50 or fewer employees can offer the cooperative plans to their employees. So how that works is if you're a member of one of the qualified association, if you're a member in good standing, you are eligible to take part in the Spring Cooperative and avail yourself of the plans that are available in the products and services that are available in the Spring Cooperative, as long as your business is less than 50 employees. By the way, Spring works with groups well over 50 and above, and we can certainly do that. We just can't put you into the Spring Cooperative at this time, the way the regulations are constructed. So how do co-op members save money? By joining the Spring Cooperative, members, and these are members of these associations, so we'll use an example of a dental practice or an optometric office, and join the cooperative, and they can take advantage of some of the following benefits: reduced health insurance premiums, innovative employee wellness initiatives. We'll get into more detail on what that means and why that's a very important component of the Spring Cooperative. Additional low-cost ancillary products and services, client information and enrollment management portal. This portal is the hub of our activity and is crucial to the success of this program and avails you of a program that very small businesses typically utilize, but it was one that could be very important to your business going forward. Spring Cooperative has partnered with two industry-leading health insurance carriers, Harvard Pilgrim and Balance Community Health Plan, and this is on the health insurance side. We did a RFP process, and we went out to the market, and these two carriers came back with we felt were excellent partnership capabilities for us. We have a significant amount of business with both of them currently, and our experience in working with them, with also their flexibility and creativity around benefit design, implementation and administration, and also the flexibility to look beyond the co-op in the future years, made these two excellent health insurance providers a great fit for us, and hopefully us for them as well. What we've done is we want to get, in terms of a Spring Co-op, we want to get more aligned with standardized and streamlined plan offerings. Because as you know, most health insurance carriers have a myriad of offerings that they have available, and it can be confusing. What we did is we looked at our book of business, and we also queried others to get a sense of what would be a good product mix that could be utilized for the Spring Co-op. 9 products were identified, 9 products offered by each carrier, and plan pairing rules apply. And what that means is if you have an HMO and a PPO, they have to meet the requirements of the plans in terms of if you offer more than one plan. And they call it plan pairing rules. This is something you can work with us on and making sure that you comply. And those would have to apply in all cases. But the product categories are traditional HMO, high deductible HMO, and PPO, a PPO and consumer-directed plans as well. And those are health savings plans, which are gaining more and more popularity in the marketplace. I'll just go through some of these. With the ACA coming in 2014 and a lot of the tenets of that happening now, we felt it was important to look not only for this year, for the remainder of this year, but also up to next year, and to kind of get in line with what is coming down the road. And the past, we utilized many plans that would have $5, $10, $15 copays. Many of those plans are going to be going away on the ACA. And we felt that the marketplace is kind of moving towards $25 copay plans as what they call the high-end baseline. So what we did is we focused on the HMO market on a $25 copay plan. And that would be $1 coverage, $25. There are inpatient and outpatient called deductibles, or really co-share components that would be built in. This is considered a very high-end plan, would probably fall into the platinum or gold level plan, and it's been a plan that's been around for many years and is going to continue on in 2014. So we really focused on an HMO offering with that and a PPO offering in that product category as well. That would be the high end of our plans, and then within that we offered an HMO $1,000, $2,000, and $3,000 deductible. Those 3 plans, the $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, especially the $1,000 and $2,000 deductible plans, are very, very popular. They're very popular. They are the most utilized plans in our entire book of business, and we are seeing more and more entities migrate towards these. They are the first step, in essence, of going from a $25 copay plan or a $20 copay plan to deductible-based plans. It gives you flexibility around copay for office visits and a prescription drug benefit that fall outside of deductible. It's very popular. They have been around for about 13 years. And as I said, with them gaining more and more popularity, we felt it was important to include these in the portfolio going forward. The PPO offerings, because of our population, there are entities that like PPO plans, so we put a $1 PPO offering, PPO 25, and a PPO $1,000 deductible-based plan. And again, there are pairing opportunities depending upon what plan you go with. We thought it was important to have some flexibility in the portfolio. And then the last 3 plans that I mentioned are the consumer-directed plans, the HSA 1500, 2000, 3000. We thought it was important to have a full network. Now, please understand that we could look on an annual basis and modify the plan offerings, that we may offer a reduced network as well, or a concentrated network. And while those are picking up steam and we find them to be a longer-term solution, it is something that we want to move slowly into that realm, and we will focus on that. But for now, in the future, we're going to really look at full network at this point. And for 2014, we're going to integrate the pediatric dental benefit, which is a requirement under the ACA. That'll be implemented for 2014 enrollment dates and beyond. So any group that would enroll this year for the remainder of 2013, those benefits would not apply. They would apply only in businesses that renew sometime in 2014. There is two components that are required as part of it: the Qualified Association Member Agreement, which is the agreement between the business and the co-op to join the co-op, and then typical enrollment materials are utilized. So the enrollment materials that you've been used to for many, many years, other than the fact we're going to stamp them as Spring Co-op, there will be no change in those. However, as I mentioned, there would be one additional document that will incorporate the Qualified Association Member Agreement. It just gives you the requirements of the co-op, what the rules and regulations were, and what was filed with the Division of Insurance. And these are requirements that we had to put into this agreement, so you're aware of what the co-op is about, exiting and entering the co-op, and what the rules are around that. And then more wellness, which we'll get into in a minute, but some of the wellness requirements that are a key component of the Spring Cooperative. And then as we get closer to 2015, we are structured in a way that we have the ability to move to a large group structure, which would mean that we would take all the components of the co-op, meaning all of the businesses in the co-op, and wrap them into one large group entity. And that kind of flexibility is unseen with the different cooperatives currently that are out in the marketplace. It gives us flexibility depending upon the political landscape and where the regulatory in the future of the ACA ends up, but it gives us flexibility within the co-op. We don't call it a reduction in premiums, but a leveling off, and then additional reporting. And so we can look at things like utilization, we can look at things like plan design, we can customize some of these components, and there is potential for additional premium savings under this scenario beyond what we'll talk about in the next few slides. So it gives us a lot of flexibility in a very ever-changing and very volatile insurance marketplace looking into 2015 and beyond. So what is the co-op wellness and why is it important? The Spring Cooperative, this was being designed, as well as all cooperatives, requirements of the Division of Insurance. They put a goal of complete health care for all members, and we absolutely believe in that as well. It is as a mandated component of the cooperative, wellness is imperative for members to actively maintain and improve their health care. So the person is very active and has good health care. We want a good wellness. We want them to continue that. We do not want to interfere with that. We want to hopefully supplement and complement that. And for those who may have challenges around wellness, tools we can use to help that, to make people healthier. And by doing so, there is a personal aspect to this. There's also a business aspect to it, because with wellness implemented, there is a potential for savings for the plan over the long term. So if you've got a person in your office, for instance, that is maybe a smoker or something like that, there are tools that are going to be implemented using the Spring Wellness Plan through the co-op that could help change the dynamic of their wellness and to make a better, healthier lifestyle for that person. And in doing so, reduce the claims exposure and therefore reduce potential long-term premiums. That is some of the main components of the co-op. We needed a strong wellness plan to be part of this, and we will go through a few slides and talk about what that is and what that means. But the Spring Wellness Plan empowers members to make informed lifestyle management decisions. It provides members with the skills to develop, implement, and complete a healthy lifestyle management plan. That management plan, as I said, can be a person who has very little wellness requirements, someone who really should take a more active role to help with their own wellness. It inspires and motivates members to attain defined goals. We're focusing on not reaching those goals as much as the effort to getting to those goals. Some of these goals can take many years. Some of these goals are life lessons that we can all improve upon, or they're really determined and structured and measured objectives to really help people that have severe or really imminent wellness and medical issues. So the Spring Co-op Wellness Program is an integrated component of the Spring Cooperative, and participation requirements are set up for each business in the co-op. We'll go through that in a minute. So there are annual wellness participation requirements I mentioned in the last slide for each business and subscriber, and this was mandated as part of the division, the Massachusetts Division of Insurance, construction of these co-ops. Spouses and dependents are encouraged but not required to participate in the Spring Co-op. So, pardon me. The requirements for the business who signed up for the co-op is that 80% of all subscribers in the group health plan, those are the people that are actually enrolled, must fill out the health risk assessment. And this health risk assessment is an electronically based entity which takes about 10 to 15 minutes to fill out. It asks a series of questions, and by doing so, it creates a basic tool that the user can understand around what their needs are around wellness. And we're requiring 80% of these needs groups to take part in it. And that's the first step. That is the key step to get involved in the wellness program. And then from there, we're asking people as part of it and requiring them 50% of all subscribers must take part in one or more wellness activities annually. So each year, we're asking people to go in, set up take part in the health risk assessment, go through and take part in one of the many wellness activities. It could be something like taking a wellness class, could be taking a cooking class, could be running a road race, smoking cessation. Could be a series of things to help people, maybe reduce cholesterol. But these targets are important for people to have a more active role in their wellness, and it's a required component of the co-op. And these requirements must be met before the end of the second year in the Spring Cooperative, or the business will be terminated from the co-op. That strict rule was required by the division, and we feel it's important that businesses take an active role and work with their employees to make sure that they meet these requirements. These are not very difficult requirements, but what they are is they should stimulate people to take a more active role in their health and wellness. So again, there's an integrated health coaching component to assist members in pursuing their wellness goals regardless of their health situation. So what are some of the wellness tools that are utilized? I mentioned the health risk assessment or health questionnaire. There are health coaches, and from the HRA, health coaches are available from that point on, online and via telephone. There are interactive tools and calculators. We talked about some of these things like activity logs and food logs. There are wellness challenges, little things like increasing water consumption. It's amazing how many people don't drink a lot of water or don't drink enough water as recommended. Member forums that support and give advice from other members. And that's a good support mechanism for people. When you say, this is what I'm going through. Others out there that are maybe challenged in doing some of the wellness things to make them more healthy. And then there are incentives, and depending on the plan selected, members may have the opportunity to earn financial incentives as they reach health goals. And more importantly, though, it's the goal. It's when you set a goal, it's to work towards getting to that goal. No one can be expected to set a goal. I'm going to quit smoking. We know the challenge of quitting smoking, and we want people moving in that direction. We feel it's important for them personally. It's also important for the plan and for the longevity of the plan that people take an active role. But we're not going to penalize them if they don't get into a situation where they don't meet those goals right out of the gate. It's impossible to expect people to do that, but it's the effort of the program itself, and moving towards that is crucially important. So beyond the health insurance offering from Fallon and Harvard Pilgrim, there are additional products available to members. There's auto and home insurance that we offer. There's pet insurance, life insurance, accident coverage, discount purchasing programs. And we have things like legal programs and identity theft, vision care, critical illness, voluntary type products and services that will complement not only the Spring Cooperative offerings, but also non-Spring Cooperative offerings. Travel insurance, we work with people that have their travel needs for going out of the country or maybe extended period of time. There's also repatriation and trip cancellation type insurance, and more people are taking advantage of those types of services, and they're discounted through the co-op membership. Short and long-term disability, Section 125, HRA and HSA administration, which add a nice complement to health insurance especially, and it's a great employee benefit. And then wealth management services. What kind of customer service can members expect? So we never would want to walk away, as the co-op was formed, from the service levels that people have gotten to know about Spring and MDS Insurance Service. So one of the things that was crucial to us was to complement our 800 call support center that we have in Westborough, Massachusetts, with online tools that give people access 24/7. Our hours of operation for the Spring Co-op are 8 to 8 each day, 8 in the morning to 8 p.m., or 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But the ability for people to access their information, their health insurance information, their benefit information in a 24/7 world was important. So we were adding what we call our online client portal, which gives your employees and employers, by the way, the ability to review and manage their benefit package online whenever they want. It's available 24/7. And for employers to manage their employee benefit adds deletes and changes electronically. So you get the ability to go in and make changes to the system to add an employee to, maybe put somebody in COBRA, a variety of client management type of tools. Or if a person says, you know what, I want to get some therapy, I want to go in and look up some information on my plan, they can, that employee can go in at 10 o'clock at night, go in, log in, get in the information, and review their benefits at the comfort of wherever they are, whether it's in their house, whether it's in their office, whether it's in their, it gives them that flexibility. But if a person wants to talk to somebody about a question or something along health insurance or any of the product and services we offer to the co-op, they can call our 800 number and they can speak to somebody there and get expert advice. And these people that we have through the customer service team are licensed, experienced insurance and employee benefit representatives that can answer questions. Additional questions like individual benefit questions, which are specific to an employee or an individual or a dependent, we would then route them to the individual carrier. They would handle that. We handle pretty much everything else, our 800 number, or via our state-of-the-art online client portal system. These are just some of the partners we have, and there are many others. Harvard Pilgrim, Minnesota Life, Fallon Community Health Plan, and there's many others. So what organizations are participating? Right now, we have two partners that are live in our system, which is the Mass Dental Society and the Mass Society of Optometrists. We have two other pending societies and associations, which should be up by the beginning of next week and working with us. And we expect that list to grow as more and more entities and word spreads about the benefits the Spring Co-op members will enjoy. And this is a short-term benefit, and as mentioned, it's a long-term benefit. We want this to grow and to evolve, where there be other products and services that meet your needs down the road at cooperative and very competitive cooperative pricing. So when should you enroll in the co-op? Well, certainly that's up to you, but there are discounts involved on the health insurance, which we have secured with these two carriers and vetted through the Division of Insurance, that are at the highest level in 2013. So If you have an opportunity to investigate this further, I would highly recommend that you get involved in 2013 and then beyond. There'll be opportunities to do so in 14 and 15 and beyond. But the discounts are highest this year, and we would recommend that you either contact us by our 800 number or electronically, and I'll put that down here. That's on slide 17. Here's our 800 number. We also have email about the benefits and some of the opportunities you can do through the co-op. And we have licensed agents, as I mentioned, available to answer any of these questions. If you're an existing, part of our book of business through MDSAS Spring, we can bill you of the offerings through the co-op, price out some of the alternatives, and do that in a very timely fashion for 2013. So it's not too late, absolutely. In fact, if anything, it's the perfect time to look into this. A couple things come into play for 2013. As we get into 2014 and seen all the challenges around healthcare reform, we know that there are many more components, items such as benefits and requirements and things like that that are going to be put into plans 1/1/14 and beyond. So by moving to a start date or a renewal date of 2013, you push off the effects of the ACA for at least 1 year. That, coupled with with some of the savings we've been able to negotiate with the carriers through the co-op for health insurance, make it a time-sensitive opportunity to save some additional premium dollars. We've done some preliminary pricing for a bunch of our groups, and we're happy to say that we have over 50 groups lined up right now, and many more every day that are interested in joining the co-op. We would encourage you to look into what this means and how we can save some premium dollars now and in the future with the Spring Cooperative. So I have pretty much run to the end of the presentation, and what I'd like to do is offer anybody questions. If there's any questions you have for me that I can answer, I'd be very happy to try to answer them. I think I can answer them. So I'll stay on the line for a few minutes. Or I'll look at the screen here and see if there's any questions that come in. I'd be very, very happy to answer those. Beyond that, there's contact information. You can reach out to our office and ask any questions electronically or by the 800 number. I'd be happy to do that as well. One of the questions that was displayed earlier to us was, why now versus waiting? And I had kind of gone through that. If you go back, 15, 20 years ago, you could do some strategic planning around your employee benefit costs, especially around health insurance, and you could look out 2 to 3 years. And it's harder to do that now, especially over the last 13 years, as health insurance premiums have increased exponentially. It's created an annual analysis and basically a year-to-year type of analysis and process. I would say that continues on, and if you can enjoy any kind of premium savings or reduction, taking advantage of doing that is in your best interest. So, I highly recommend looking into this now, and then we can address further issues at this time next year around the Spring Cooperative, around your pricing, around some of the challenges in your business or some of the opportunities. So getting on to this for 2013 could save you, and they're estimating through the ACA, 3 to 5% minimum on premiums for versus 2014, and then you add in the effect of the Spring Cooperative, and you could be looking at a 7 to 10% potential increase off the rates. That is enticing and should make it in your best interest to move forward, at least trying to analyze through with our office to get some options around the Spring Cooperative. So that was just addressing one question. Are there any other questions at this time? Okay, I'm going to close down the presentation early. Again, I recommend or avail myself and my staff of any questions you may have around the Spring Cooperative. We're really excited to be rolling this out in 2013 and beyond, and we look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you.